Hallo meine Freunde and hey, hey everyone. So this is Französisch für Anfänger. Et je ne parlais allemand, mais je regardais le film et c'est un très bon film et je décidé d'écrire mon review et en le futur je pense de review les films français les bons que c'est similaire mais les films Französisch für Anfänger. D'accord, et maintenant je parlais en anglais, puis c'est les langues que je connais, plus connais. So guys, so welcome everybody. If you speak French, great. If you speak German, great. If you speak English, great. And this is a film called French for Beginners, and this is primarily directed at my German and French audiences. In the future, I'll review the film Le Boom, which is a film that influenced this film. I will do that review in French. However, since I don't know German that well, I'll do this one in English. And Christian Dieter, he's done a film called How to Be Single in English for Hollywood, so he's sort of known. And he's the director of this film, and it stars Francois as Henrik, Paula as Valerie, Leonard as Johannes, Elodie as Charlotte, Cyril as Matthew, Antoine as Cyril. So the cast is really great guys. So let's just go at it, guys, because brief plot summary. So the movie focuses on Henrik. He falls in love with a half French German girl called Valerie. Henrik hates French class, but he goes anyway. He finds out Valerie is the leader of the French club, and they're doing an exchange trip to a small town in France. He and his friend Johannes go to Lyon on bus with all the other kids. It seems like a small French town somewhere in Lyon. He stays with Cyril and her family, who only speak French, and they're really nice people. Cyril and her family, like, they really help Henrik in everything. So they do all this group activity, like they were like throwing water at each other with like water guns, water balloons. I really enjoyed it, and it's very beautiful environment. And Henrik soon finds out though Valerie's dating this French guy Matthew. Les copains de Matthew is Valerie, and Henrik tries to sabotage Matthew. Like, people say Henrik is like shy, but honestly, like, he just comes off as not as likable. Like, he's the weakest part of the film. But anyway, so like Matthew is très talentueux. Il jouait le piano et il jouait les chansons de Bolero pour Ravel on piano. And then eventually, though, Valerie discovers Matthew is cheating on her with Charlotte. So what happens is that Matthew goes to this wine storage room and he meets Charlotte, and they both hook up. And then Valerie is just like shocked. Valerie is a German girl, by the way. And you guys, like, if I'm speaking in French, some German stuff, and you know English, like, enjoy, try to figure it all out, because that's the main goal, you know. Like, it's called discovery linguistics, you know. It's for you guys to like try to figure everything out. So Valerie leaves Matthew and up dancing, and you know, some random guy. Like, I think the guy's Nicholas, but not 100% sure. Meanwhile, Henrik flirts with Charlotte. Henrik dances with her, but he still has feelings for Valerie, and he escorts Valerie drunk and takes her home. Valerie later learns about this and tries to get something going with Henrik, but she discovers him and Charlotte hooking up. Like, they're in the bed and like kissing and stuff, and in the end, Henrik apologizes to Valerie and kisses her in a very dramatic but satisfying way. Les critiques disent que c'est comme les films américains, que les personnages principaux, c'est très dramatique, mais les finale est contente. Like I'm saying, you guys, like, some critics were saying, oh, it's like an American film, like everybody's happy at the end, and I think it's happy and dramatic. It's kind of like a Disney film in the end. And like some critics says it kind of breaks the realistic tone that they've got it going since the beginning. But yeah, and ignore it. Downstairs there's like a party, like a rugby team or something, like they're having a party. So just ignore it. So yeah, I don't think Henrik should have apologized to like Valerie. He didn't do anything honestly, and that girl was hooking up with other guys. So like I don't see that point. But I don't know. He just seems like he's pedestalizing her. Like his character is not that convincing, honestly. But let's continue. The tone and setting of the film are excellent. The happy, realistic tone. Cinematographer Christian Ryan delivers beautiful imagery. For instance, when they're outside of Sibyl's house, c'est très beau. Le jardin and the marble floors. Also, when they're on the bus, you see how nice it is. And the coach says it's showtime. You know, like it's not a coach. He's like the trip leader. He's like, oh, it says it's showtime. So it's small details that make it stand out. The action takes place in München, then in a small town in Lyon. I enjoy looking at Sibyl's house since it's not all new buildings that create more impersonal atmosphere, but rather a small, quaint house. And it's very interesting since they have like a Beetle car. They have like a turquoise Beetle car. And I know Germany is renowned for its cars. Well, France seems like they don't value cars that much. Not that they don't value it, it's just like it's not the focus. So I'm theorizing Sibyl's parents use it as public transportation and they don't see a point in repairing their old Beetle. And when they're at the board, for instance, like when Henrik meets Valerie, it's also this like playful tone because he says like, Französisch this, c'est su gras, it's not beautiful, and like Französisch is a baguette, and all these like stereotypes, and then like Valerie like turns it around and says like, meine Mutter is Französisch, like her mom is French, so he just gets shocked, and it's hilarious. So it's this like realistic and happy tone, and the music is tons of fun and very enthusiastic. The music is great. To begin with, you have the song Nur ein Wort from the band Ursinn Helden. They're a cheerful bunch. As soon as you watch the trailer, it catches you and takes your attention. It also adds to this cheerful tone. More another song that's a tone is Champs-Élysées. Toutes les non-enfants, tous les jeunesse, ils sont dans les bus et ils chantaient oh Champs-Élysées, la 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 la, oh Champs-Élysées, la la la. And you see like the sunniest outside, lush gardens, and then as soon as the trip leader leaves, lets everybody out, he's like showtime, and they start like playing Nur ein Wort, and everybody screams, and then they're all dancing outside. C'est très content. And it just infuses the film with this energy. The film is made better by the water fight, because then they start fighting with water. Like it's such a happy, it's crazy. It could be like the most fun trip ever because it's just so happy and so good vibe. Like le critique dit que says feel good, you know. I will also add Susan by Super 70. It comes at a poignant moment where Henrik is dancing with Charlotte. Johannes puts on the song. All of a sudden, everybody gets serious and starts dancing closely. It all happens with very beautiful lights, and you can feel like the tension between like all the couples dancing. Honestly, Henrik should have kissed Charlotte as soon as he saw she kissed Nicholas. Instead, he leaves. So again, my critique is the same one. This Henrik guy, like he's just selfish. You know, he only cares about like getting his girl. He only cares about like German culture. Like I feel like he isn't even immersed in French culture. You know, he had the opportunity to just like kiss this beautiful girl, like enjoy the fun times with everybody, but instead he just acts emo and leaves. So that's why like he's not as likable, guys, honestly. But anyway, let's continue. So the main girls are very hot and open-minded. So both Valérie and Charlotte sont très très beaux, spirit libre. And to begin with, Henrik makes it seem like there's like a huge difference between looks of them, but that's not the case at all. Like Valérie is like a solid 9 and Charlotte is a solid 8. Both girls are like super hot. So I don't understand why Henrik was so hesitant with Charlotte. She was like très cool. Moreover, she was also like open-minded and down to dance with him, get in the car with him. You know, like Charlotte's just down for everything. You know, like this this guy Henrik, he's just so hesitant about everything. Like, he's just not likable, honestly, guys. So, and on top of that, she also said she liked Germany. Like, not many people will say that, honestly. But not like many people, many German people might say that, but like, I mean, like, not many French people are gonna say like, yeah, Germany rocks and stuff like that. But this girl saying that, and even despite this, like Henry just acts emo and stuff, and she's like, oh, thanks, you know, like. And some critics were saying, oh, Charlotte tries to seduce Henrik, but I wouldn't agree at all. I think by Johannes' advice, he went for Charlotte and started trying to like get it on with her. So, and Charlotte, she's like très cool, and she reciprocated. She's like, oh yeah, why not, why not? Like what Valerie is very open-minded and hard. Like she was hooking up with Matthew, and then she hooked up with Nicholas. So this girl Valerie, well, this guy is so like so serious, you know, he's overly serious. Valerie is like just hooking up with all the other guys, you know, like, and he's just so like close-minded. But anyway, she was there to explore and have fun. Like she was just there to have fun, you know. She's drinking, having a blast, and this dude is just like the only one who's like being all negative energy stuff. So les personnages secondaires sont très bons. So I focus on the three guys, Johannes, Mathieu, and Sibyl. First off, Johannes has style. He looks like a young Che Guevara, like an anarchist hat. He looks like a beret. He even has a red star. He's funny and a good friend, and interesting guy. He's also one who's recommending Henrik to do cool things. For instance, he goes on a trip, try to hook up with Charlotte. He's all DJing and putting slow songs to make sure Henrik dances with Charlotte. He's also the one who tells him to hook up with Charlotte and see what happens. It could lead to like a jealousy plotline, like technical term, but it could happen where like Valerie's jealous and then she's more into like Henrik, but he just messes it up, honestly. Like Matthew's a very realistic portrayal. I know a French guy like that. Like I was French. I know this girl who dated a French guy who was just like Matthew. He's living his life to the fullest, hooking up with Charlotte and dating Valerie at the same time. I think Henrik would have a lot to learn from Matthew. That he had overly serious humor. So I like the scene where Matthew goes to sneak into this wine store, tries and drink with Charlotte and kisses her. He tries to fix it with Valerie early. I feel with enough time, guys, this is what I'm saying. Like Matthew could have turned it around because Valerie was really open-minded, but she was just, it all happened too fast, you know. Sibyl is another great character, full of strengths and flaws. Small flaw is like, il parlait seulement le français. Il est difficile de communiquer con les étudiants allemands. However, he makes it up for being like a stand-up guy. He's likable, Henrik, in fixing up his broken bass. It's like a bass, like where you put flowers and he just broke it, Henrik, so it gets fixed up. He didn't break it, but like, it's like a tradition. It's a long story, guys, but like he helps him. That's the main idea. He also stands up and sings a French song to help Henrik when he's on stage. He's a great host brother, and it shows. His family is also very likable. He's like that type of guy who you want at your corner. He's just a really nice guy. So Henrik doesn't deliver it. Henrik is the worst character in the movie, bar none. He's aloof, judgmental, overly serious, close-minded, and have no selection skill. This might be a bit too hard, because now that I'm watching it again, he seems alright, you know, like he's okay, but I think he's just way too serious. So he's surrounded by really cool people, yet all he does act aloof and delivers some silly remarks. I know some people will say that he's shy, but I don't agree. He seems to bring down the energy of the room. Without him, the movie would be a solid night. Since he's surrounded by winners, but he alone brings it to an 8. I thought the way he treats Charlotte. This is a beautiful girl who likes him. I know he does call her an nymphomaniac. He also likes enthusiasm when learning French. He wants to come off as too cool for school, but he ends up being overly serious for this type of film. Why is he so close-minded? Maybe director Christian Dieter wanted to give like a moral gravitas, this like seriousness to his film, but instead like this character just comes off as unlikable. He's like easily bored by everything. For instance, when he's dancing, as soon as Valerie leaves, he also leaves instead of enjoying the dance. So my main critique of this guy is he just seems selfish, you know, and like he just doesn't seem to enjoy French culture that much. So great film, highly recommended. Watching this film is watching a great band, but a bad singer. The whole band's stacked and there's lots of attention. All the characters are very likable. but this guy just lacks emotion, and he just seems selfish. He only wants ballerina and doesn't like care about French culture that much and stuff, you know. So